Now, coping with the economic crisis has been devastating for many Americans. But the fact here is you need a credit card for a lot of daily activities. Even if you plan to pay cash for something, you have to have a credit card to make a hotel reservation or even to rent a car. But if your credit is shot right now, you may not be able to get a traditional credit card. There is another option out there. It's a secured credit card. But the question is, what really is it? And can you rebuild your credit with one of these? Personal finance advisor Jerry Detweiler has the answers we need this morning. She's joining us live this morning from Washington, D.C. Good morning.
Good morning, Heidi.
So let's talk a little bit about what this card is, because I don't think a lot of people know what it is and how it works. Let's start with that.
Yeah, millions of Americans have credit scores of 600 or below, and it's difficult to get a traditional unsecured credit card with those credit scores. So instead, you look at a secured card. A secured card is just a regular Visa or MasterCard, doesn't look any different or work any different at the cash register, but it's backed by your own deposit in hopefully an FDIC insured bank account. So if you did default, that money would be there. It's less risky for the lender, and that means they're willing to extend these cards to people even with less than perfect credit ratings.
So let's get an example here. If you want a credit line, let's say of $1,000, I would then have to put $1,000 in this account. Don't touch that money. It has to stay there so that I can use that card.
That's right, and this is very different than a prepaid card. Those are the cards where you load $1,000 on and then you spend the $1,000 down. This is more like a security deposit you put up with a landlord when you rent an apartment. If you treat the account well, you're going to get it back at the end when you graduate to an unsecured card.
I'm assuming the creditors know that you're using this kind of card as opposed to a regular credit card. So will this, in the end, help you build back your credit?
Well, that's the goal, and so you want to choose a secured card that reports to all three major credit reporting agencies, and there's even a few of these cards that don't report as secured. They report as just a traditional credit card. Now, the credit limit is low, of course, because it's based on your deposit, unless you put up a big deposit. So you want to make sure that you don't run up high balances, because if you, let's say, have a $500 credit limit and you're using $400 of it, that's not good for your credit scores.
Lastly here, when I Googled a secured credit card, I came up with a lot of stories about some that maybe were scams. So how do you know that you're getting a card that is actually a good card and with a business you should be working with?
Well, we certainly screen them at credit.com. In addition, I would encourage consumers to make sure that they are dealing with a place where the deposit will be FDIC insured. If it is, then you're probably dealing with a reputable lender.
All right, Jerry Detweiler, thank you so much for joining us this morning. If you have other questions about it, we're going to post it online for you again. Personal finance advisor Jerry Detweiler joined us this morning with answers to those questions. You can find financial tips anytime you want them at myfoxorlando.com. All you do is click there on the Money tab. Mike?